Linda Adams helped to change the way people received ski racing news. When Tro Elliman took over the Stowe Reporter in 1963, Stowe was the ski capital of the East. With a strong junior racing program and Vermonters having success on an international level, Elliman decided the Stowe Reporter should carry ski news.
How she started her career in the ski journalism is that in about 1970, she became employed by Tro at the Stowe Reporter. The Stowe Reporter was not nearly as big as it was sort of in its infancy then, but she got into ski racing photography at that time and started printing results and photos of local ski races. That was mixed in with the regular sporting news, but after a while, Tro and Linda developed a special section for ski racing, and they published results every Thursday of the weekend races from the previous weekend. She started going to World Cup events in the U.S. and she did not go to all of them, but she covered several of the major ones in the U.S., like in Aspen, Vail, and at Park City. And at that time, the ski racing newspaper was just beginning, but the main source of publicity for ski racing as far as print media goes was in the Stowe Reporter. So they attracted a lot of subscribers throughout the West, and people that were really interested in ski racing look forward to receiving that every week. She enjoyed the World Cup races. She liked the mix. She liked the mix between covering junior ski racing, college ski racing, and World Cup events.
Linda had grown up in Montpelier as a skier, but not a racer. She was a self-taught photographer and became a well-respected journalist. She called some of the most legendary Vermont ski reporters her colleagues: Paul Robbins, Malcolm Reese, and Peter Miller.
I think she was very proud that she sort of developed this following, if you will, from the ground up. I mean, going back to the junior level, she really didn't favor. I look at the junior ski racing level, the college level, and some of these bigger races that they had in the West. She didn't really favor one over the other, but she had all sorts of parents like in Stowe or parents at Jay Peak or Sugarbush. I mean, they would call her up and thank her and tell her how much they appreciated just the coverage and so forth. And likewise, people on at the headquarters of the U.S. ski team would call her up too and tell her they liked some sort of an article, or could she send them a photograph out there. So she had a good connection with the U.S. ski team.
As the paper's respect grew, so did the workload. In the 1980s, she hired Sporty Bell. Sporty Bell had been commuting to Stowe from New York for 20 years before moving her family here. She first came to Vermont as a freshman at UVM.
Back then, just standing in line for the single chair was a party. And you got up to the top and it was Easter parade. And besides, God, this is the place for me. Any place with a party.
Sporty had trained as a chemist, but after moving here, she ran the Edelweiss Deli and the Snowdrift Hotel, as well as volunteering with the Mount Mansfield Ski Club, Stowe Performing Arts, and staying active in horseback riding. She met Linda at the ski club.
I got to know Linda, and she was working at the Stowe Reporter and starting the ski news. And she asked me to come work there, so I did. She's very demanding to work for. As Paul Robbins said, she was a Lone Ranger and I was Tonto. But we went to a lot of races. Besides, well, the work at the Stowe Reporter, she took great pride in getting the news out in the Stowe Reporter before ski racing. We were always a week ahead of ski racing. So the subscription, because of the ski racing, was rather substantial. But it just grew and grew and grew. We had a whole section one year. Pages and pages and pages of ski racing. We had every little bitty race and every medium race and every big race.
She also completed the less glamorous aspects of producing a newspaper.
Now, the typist gave you these canisters. You'd put it in this machine and run it through, and you'd come out with the typed thing, and you'd have to trim them and then put them through a gluer and a wax machine.
They did this for skiing in the winter and for horseback riding news in the summer.
But then we got riding together, and that's when I was the Lone Ranger and she was Tonto. My miracle pony Zimby, who would jump anything in the world, but he was only a pony, and she had a pony April. And the two horses became best friends. Linda said she drove up to Nivix one morning, and they were curled up like puppies on the top of the hill. They were so sweet together, you know, they kind of nudge each other going along. And we went everywhere. We went places, we got lost, we just wandered wherever we could.
Their passion for horses, skiing, and Stowe sustained a long friendship after their retirement. The Vermont Ski and Snowboard Museum presents Linda Adams and Sporty Bell with the Paul Robbins Ski Journalism Award.